Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to sit down and play with some products that I've picked up over the past few months that honestly I just haven't had time to share with you guys because I've been super busy and there's been so much going on. Most of these products that I'm going to share with you today are things that I've already tried, I've already played with, but I'm still trying to get to know them a little bit, and I really wanted to share these with you today. So if you guys are interested to see how I came up with this look and the products that I used, keep on watching. Alright, so the primer that I'm going to use for today's video is one that I haven't heard anybody speak about yet. I did get a $50 gift card for Christmas to Sephora or a couple of other different places, so I picked up the Shiseido WASO, I'm assuming, Poreless Matte Primer. And this stuff, I've only used it once, but I had a really terrific experience the first time I used it, so I'm really excited to use it again. This primer is like snot green, or like a lime green, as I guess that's a more attractive way of describing it. But I really like the way it mattifies, and it does smooth out my pores and the rest of my face. So, pretty excited about this one. I want to keep trying it with more foundations that I own, just to see how they play together. Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be using mostly the Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. This is a very matte foundation, but I mixed in a little bit of the NARS Radiant Longwear, and then I topped it off with a little bit of the Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani. If you see the situation behind me, I mix foundations all the time, and that's because if I didn't, I would never get through the mass amount of foundations sitting behind me right now. So I have a problem. I'm well aware. Typically, I like something to be pretty full coverage because I do have a lot of discoloration. Every now and then, my face likes to be finicky and I'll break out. I get a lot of redness. I have sunspots. I have lots of fun things going on, so typically like full coverage. And normally I go for more mattifying foundations because I do have really oily skin. But for this one, I mixed together, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we'll see what we end up with. And this primer helps to keep those more glowy foundations or the more natural foundations in place. So I kind of want to see what it looks like once we get all this on. I have truly missed filming videos. So I'll go ahead and give you guys like a little bit of an update on what's been going on in my crazy life. So back in August, I started a new semester at school and was taking 3 classes, which is a lot for somebody that's a single parent and that works full time and everything else. I also started my training program for the new position that I got where I work. You know, a little bit of a stressful program because you have a lot you have to learn. And, you know, a lot of that stress I place on myself because I want to do a good job and I want to learn as much as as much as I feel like I should learn. So then I started to get pretty sick. And for the past 4 months, I have been fighting various health issues. My guess is all the stress from, you know, I was in an internship program before I got promoted to this other training program. So the stress from that, the stress from knowing, you know, the school year, and just, you know, everyday stress in general, probably weakened my immune system, made me get sick a lot quicker, or at least that's my theory. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's been quite the wild ride since August, that's for sure. So I had to take a physics class this past semester, and I had to buy like a huge kit full of experiment supplies and whatnot, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't end up using and I was just going to throw away. There were these cute little jars, these little mason jars. I thought, man, that'd be really cute to put some Q-tips in. So, you know, I do like that Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. I think this is pretty decent. The only real gripe that I have with like more mattifying foundations is the fact that it can make you look a lot older than you are because it's going to sink into your fine lines. It's going to accentuate those wrinkles because it's drying and it just kind of clings to everything. But as far as like wear time and whatnot, it's a good foundation. It does wear quite a while. And if I put it over top of a more mattifying primer, it wears even longer. Now I'm going to take a new concealer that I bought. This is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. Mine is in the shade Fair 15W, and this is pretty decent stuff. I actually really like this. It's very moisturizing. I am going to take this Pretty Fresh concealer underneath my eyes, and I'm going to blend that out with a dry sponge. Normally I use a wet sponge, but I used a dry sponge last night, and I didn't hate the way it blended my concealer, so we're going to do it again. In 2020, I'm going to buy myself a vanity. I don't care how I have to do it, but I'm buying a vanity because the setup I have right now is just not working for me. It's like a bookshelf that I've kind of converted into a makeup stand, and it looks terrible. It is not pretty. So, we're going to figure something out. This is going to be an interesting year. I'm sad because I didn't get to do like a New Year's video. I didn't get to do like a Christmas themed video or look or anything. I was so busy I didn't have time to do any of that stuff. So I've got some catching up to do. Most concealers are pretty drying underneath my eyes. This one's not like as drying as some of the other ones I've tried, but it's still pretty drying. So what I'll normally do is take a little bit of the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics, and I'll just kind of put a little bit of this over top. I mean, the tiniest of amounts. And it just helps to bring back some moisture to that area. I really like that concealer because it doesn't look too heavy. It just looks nice. It just covers a little bit of the, you know, the darkness if you have darkness or whatever. It just looks nice. Okay, so now I'm just taking a little bit of that Bye Bye Under Eye and like a tiny, tiny, tiny little dab, and we're going to blend that in there. This is such a good concealer, especially for more mature skin. So if you're somebody that has very dry under eyes and you're struggling to find a concealer that doesn't make, you know, your under eyes look like the Sahara Desert, give the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye a try. Mine is in the shade Light Ultra Fair. This is going to be a different year for me. There's going to be a lot more uploads on YouTube. I'm going to have a lot more time because I'm not going to school this semester. And I really do want to give my channel some more attention because 2019 I just did not have the time to be doing a YouTube channel. In all reality, I just didn't. And I feel like if I'm more consistent, if I'm uploading a couple videos a week, then that'll really help my channel grow. So that's a huge goal in 2020. We'll see how it goes. So if you're still watching and you've seen other videos that I've uploaded, or if so far you like what you see in this one, please make sure you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. You know, help me grow my channel in 2020. Stick around and become part of the family. The setting powder that I'm going to be using is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch. What is it? I always get this messed up. The Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder from Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade Butter. It is such a good powder. It really does smooth your face, makes everything just really even looking, and locks things in pretty nicely. So I do really enjoy this powder. So anyway, what was I saying earlier about my job and my health and everything being crazy? And so yeah, things have kind of leveled out a little bit for me. I stopped going to school, so that was one stressor that was eliminated, you know, praise Jesus. And I did have an EGD done, which is when they put a scope down your throat and into your stomach and into your upper intestines, and you know, they try to see what's wrong, why you're having the discomfort or pain or whatever, because I was really going through it with my stomach issues this year. And it's not something I'd ever experienced before, so kind of, you know, came to me as a surprise and was, you know, very stressful. I didn't know what was going on. So they did do a scope, and, you know, I'm very grateful that it's nothing cancerous. It's nothing that, you know, shouldn't go away with time and with proper care. So, you know, I did mention in a prior video, I can't drink coffee anymore. I can't drink soda. I can't really have any heavy fried foods or anything like that. But you know what? If it's going to make me feel better and, you know, eliminate the misery I was dealing with, then I'm okay with that. We'll have to deal with it. So it just stinks because I love my coffee so much. I'll have a cup every now and then, but I just, you know, if I drink a couple cups the next day, actually a few days following, I'm just completely miserable. I have picked up several new bronzers, but the one that I want to use in this video, because I don't even think I've used this yet, is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Capri Coast. And it looks like that. I haven't used it yet because it looks a little bit orange. When I go to swatch it and stuff, it just has a very orange tone, and it scares me, to be honest. But we're going to use it today. We're going to see what it looks like. So another big goal for me for 2020 is to buy less makeup. I really want to focus more on my setup as far as, you know, having a vanity that's really nice and put together and a place to really store my stuff. Since I have a lot of stuff, I just don't have a nice place to store it. So we're going to scale back on the amount of products that I'm buying and focus more on where it's being stored and working my way through my collection. I think a lot of people are doing that right now. I think everyone's been, well, I say everyone, but a lot of people in the beauty YouTube space, they're tired of the constant flow of new makeup. So a lot of them have chosen to scale back and to start working through their collections, and I'm planning to do the same. Anybody watching on that same page, I kind of want to know, are you also sick of not being able to keep up with the new releases? So I live in West Virginia, and we got our first real snowfall of the season last night, or yesterday. And it is windy outside, it's cold, and I am not about that life. Okay, so a blush that I picked up that I was actually pretty surprised how much I liked it. This one is from Makeup Revolution. It is the matte blush in the shade New Rules. This looks very intimidating, and it is a little bit, and it's also extremely pigmented. This is not something that you can dip in and go straight in on your face, because if you do that, you will look like a clown. So what I usually have to do is just dip in once, oh boy, and then I tap it a lot to try to get most of that excess off. Or sometimes I might dab it on the back of my hand first, because it's, again, very pigmented. So we're gonna be careful here. But this is just a really pretty, like, I've been out in the snow and I'm cold type of flush, and I really like the way that looks, especially in the wintertime. And then I like to give it a little bit of on the nose, like that, just like that. So I am going to be highlighting my face with a new highlighter that I picked up last month, I believe. This is from Becca. This is their Pure Pearl highlighter, and it is beautiful. I was totally captivated by this when I saw it online. I think I saw it on the Ulta Beauty website. I love Becca highlighters to begin with. So when I saw this one and realized it was like a really pretty light pink shade, I had to have it. And it is beautiful. I've used it, you know, more than a handful of times, and I just think it's really pretty. I am so surprised I haven't heard more people talk about this highlighter. So for the eyeshadow, I have the Colourpop Flutter By palette. This was like their really pretty nude kind of, I don't know, mauve toned. It's just really beautiful. It's a cool toned palette, which we don't see a whole lot of, to be honest with you. And I think it's gorgeous. So I am going to be using this palette today. Not really sure what kind of look I'm going for yet, but we'll come up with something pretty, I'm sure. Sounded a little cocky, didn't it? I picked this little brush organizer up from Amazon. This thing holds like 96 brushes, if you guys can see that. Holds a lot. I thought it was pretty neat. It allows me to kind of look through my brushes a little bit easier as opposed to them all being in one bunch. So I really like this. I think this was like $6, so you can't really beat that. It's a little noisy though. I'm going to go in with the shade Lush. It's the lightest shade in the palette. Okay, the next shade that I'm going to go into here is called Wild Wing. It's this darker toned, like, mauve shade up here. I'm going to take the really dark, like burgundy, maroon, whatever shade this is. It's Angel BB. And I'm going to blend this deeper into the crease. I'm just going to do it very lightly. I'm going to take my Smith 230 brush, and I dipped into that darker shade. Let's try to keep it a little more diffused. Right now I'm dipping into this darkest shade. It's called Float On. It's the one at the very bottom corner of this palette here. And I'm just kind of working that in the outer portion of my eye. Okay, so for the rest of the lid, right now it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark and cool toned. I want to lighten it up a little bit. My favorite shade in this entire palette, I like the pressed glitter. I know people have very strong opinions about these pressed glitters, but I think this one is absolutely beautiful. But I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to have it all over my face. The shade Getaway down here is absolutely stunning. Oh, it is so pretty. So beautiful. Yeah. So smooth and silky and just beautiful. But that's the shade that I've used, you know, both the other times I did an eye look with this palette. So I'm going to go in with the shade Sunflare. That's this really beautiful, like, pinky, it's like a pinky blue, I don't know. It's a beautiful color. We're going to go with that, and we're going to put it right here on the inner portion of my lid. And then what I might do is take the shade Gotta Fly, which is the shimmery dark shade up here, and put that on the outer corner of my lid. I do relatively the same kind of eye look. Every time I do my eyeshadow, I do like a light color here, a darker color on the outside. It just works for my eye shape. It works for me. I like the way it looks. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the Sigma concealer brush. This is their F70 brush. And I'm going to use that to pack that shade Sunflare. Ooh. That's going to be a pretty shade, but it's definitely not going to be happening with this concealer brush. Let's try the finger. It's still not giving me the intensity that I want. You know what? Let's use some glitter glue. If you put down either some concealer or glitter glue, it will help that shimmer shade on top of it really stand out and pop and shine. So I'm going to use a little bit of like a glitter adhesive or something like that, and it'll make the shade fantastic. The product that I like to use for this is from NYX. This is their multitasker mixing medium. You can use this to mix in with pigments. You can use it to mix in with shadows. And it just helps for it to adhere to your lid better. But I like to use it as a glitter primer, and it works perfectly for that. When I put this on my lid, it does not move. Whatever I put over top of it stays put. It dries pretty quick, so I'm not gonna take too long getting this on there. Okay, now I'm gonna take my finger into that beautiful shimmer shade, and we're gonna start packing that on. You can already see the difference it made. Sometimes you just have to work a little bit with, you know, with these shadows and finagle things to get them to live to their full potential. Okay, let's take the darker shade on the outside here. Do I like that? No, it's not really giving me the effect that I wanted. I'm going to take that shade Getaway, the one that I said I really liked. That's this one here. And I'm going to use that to kind of mesh the outer and inner colors. Okay, and then now I'm going to take that shade in the upper corner, Gotta Fly, and we're going to put that on the outer corner here. I'm going over top of that inner shade there. I just don't like the fact that it shifts blue and pink like that. I feel like it doesn't really go with this look that well. I'm going over top of it with this shade up top here. It's just a, I don't know, it's not a duochrome, it's just one shade. I'm just hoping it covers most of that. Dang it. For the inner corner, I'm going to use this really beautiful shade from JD Glow Cosmetics. This one right here. It is called, it's one of their Galaxy shadows. It's in the shade Good God. I'll just show you again what that looks like. It is so pretty. Ooh, these JD Glow Cosmetic shadows are so stinking pretty. So beautiful. If you've been thinking about giving them a try, you're on the fence, I highly recommend them. They're just something that's so unique. So, I mean, you can see what that does for my inner corner. It just does something. So I'm going to jump off camera. I'm going to finish the other eye because that took far too long. And then when I come back, we'll finish off the lashes and the lips, and we'll kind of wrap up this video because this was a very long video making a comeback here. I am going to take a little bit of this darker shimmer shade here, Gotta Fly, and I'm going to kind of pack it on my lower lash line, and then we're going to throw a little bit of mascara on. I'm going to be using this Luxie Flat Definer brush. So for the eyelashes, I have been using mainly one mascara over the past couple months, and that's just because it's fantastic and it's cheap and it really does give my lashes some length and volume. I'm talking about the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. I have two. I've got the waterproof and I've got the original formula. Both of them are wonderful, but this one, the non-waterproof version of it, it does smudge a little bit, and my eyes tend to water sometimes. I have contacts, so I'm constantly rubbing my eyes, and when I do that, it just smudges. I'm going to attempt to use these e.l.f. lashes. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried about the thickness of this band because it's rather thick. Okay, so I went ahead and put those e.l.f. falsies on, and I'm actually really impressed with how they turned out. I want to say I paid like $4 or $5 for the set of lashes, and to me that's really good when normally lashes will cost you a lot more than that. When you have hooded eyelids like I do, or the hooded eye shape like I do, it's really difficult to find a set of eyelashes that'll look decent on you, just because a lot of them are way too large, so it just makes it look like you have no eyes at all. And these, you know, they're still pretty like long, but they're not so full to where you can't see what's going on my eyelids. So I do really like this. And yeah, so the last thing we have left to do is the lips. I did pick up several lipsticks from the Pat McGrath Labs website. They were having like a Black Friday sale where lipsticks were $10 a piece. These lipsticks are normally over $30 a piece. So the fact that I got them each for $10, you know, to me that was a steal. Now, granted, this is not my favorite matte lipstick formula, but, you know, sometimes you pay a little extra for the fancy packaging, and you know, it's Pat McGrath, dang it. So I did buy them. Thank you, Elaine, for influencing me to buy these lipsticks. You gotta love that when you have somebody that you work with that is equally obsessed with makeup as you are. It's so funny because she and I will get to talking, and anyone else that's in the room around us just kind of looks at us like we're completely crazy, because we'll be going on and on about, you know, eyeshadow palettes or lipsticks or whatever the case may be, brands, and it's like we're speaking our own little language, and I love it. So one color that I got is called Realness, and I got both of them are like nude shades, but that's what this one looks like. Before I finish though, I am going to use a lip liner. Now, something else that I bought when I was on my little hiatus from YouTube was the Colourpop Lippy Sticks, or not Lippy Sticks, they're Lippy Pencil, the big box of Lippy Pencils. So I'm just going to use, this is the shade Another Round, to line my lips, and then we're going to fill it in with the Pat McGrath Labs lipstick in Realness. This is like the perfect color for this lipstick too. Alright, so that's going to finish up this look. I really plan on taking the time to make more videos, just be a little bit more active on my social media platforms and see where I can take this channel in 2020. You know, I've had this channel now for a little over a year. I'm setting a personal goal to have at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so we'll see if that happens. If you do like this video and you like my other videos, please make sure you take the time to subscribe to my content. Don't forget to hit that post notification bell, that way you're notified of all my future uploads. And come back and see me again soon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.